Well, why don't we go ahead and dive right in? So up next, we're joined by Sean Bowman with Shure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful.
And you guys know all the tips and tricks for InfoComm. I'm taking notes.
Oh, we do. We will talk after the show.
Yeah. Well, we said earlier, we were asking, how's the show been for you so far? And we're based here in the West Hall, but the Shure booth's actually in the Central Hall, right? So you've been going back and forth and back and forth.
That's right. The Shure booth is in the Central Hall, and then we have a separate room where we're demonstrating some of the latest software upgrades that you really have to hear and experience. And so we've got that separate space. And we're running around, we're meeting with customers, meeting with partners, we're having a great time, but we're certainly getting the steps in here at InfoComm.
Wonderful, yes. Take that Tesla loop now. The LVCC
right.
loop, that definitely will I'll save your feet a little bit. So let's just dive right in. So I know security is a large focus within the AV industry. How important is our considerations in security when selecting products, and why for Shure?
That's a really good question. Yeah, and there's a lot to know about cybersecurity in general. But when it comes to audio products, when it comes to Shure, we have, with our latest IntelliMix, Microflex ecosystem, and Designer softwares, updated the security protocols to the 802.1x standard. So that allows customers to have a little bit more peace of mind, streamline some of the login process for them to make it a little bit easier. But that's on top of the standard security protocols that are embedded with Shure products, as well as the encryption that some of our products have as well. So at the end of the day, you can have peace of mind with Shure products that this is cybersecurity is something that we're very aware of and that we're very dedicated to. We have a team of engineers back at Shure focusing just on this. And we understand some of the concerns with our enterprise customers, our government customers in this space. And we're always looking to improve and add more security to our products.
And that's embedded throughout the whole entire ecosystem of products with Shure?
That's right, yeah, at the endpoints with the microphones in particular, but with many of those products that I mentioned, with those IntelliMix DSP platform that we have, with the Microflex ecosystem, which is one of the things that we're most well known for, and a lot of those government customers are adopting, and corporate customers are adopting that Microflex system. That's where we've really made a lot of those cybersecurity investments.
Great.
Fantastic. And you kindly had a bit of a chat with us beforehand, and we spoke about one of the current goals at Shure being to make devices easier for customers to manage on a network. So can you talk us through the changes customers can expect to see here in the the roadmap as the ecosystem expands?
Yeah, really good question. Shure might be well known for our microphones and our hardware products, but one of the things that we've announced here at the show and that we're beta testing with our customers is called Shure Cloud. And Shure Cloud is a platform where customers can monitor and manage their network devices, like our latest MXW system, Next 2, or our IntelliMix Room DSP system. They can transfer licenses and manage those there. So part of the reason we're doing the beta test here at the show is to get feedback from customers who are using those products today. They can add Shure Cloud to their current workflow and provide feedback for us on features they'd like to see, things that would help solve problems for them. And we envision for a system like this that customers who have multiple campuses, who have large systems that they're managing, that a cloud-based system like this allows them to stay connected to all of those devices and get better visibility and manage those devices over a large space. So you can imagine how that'd be.
And I think it's been a common theme as well with people that we've been talking to on this show about the ease of use. I think because there's so much sort of capacity and so much that you can build into a product, but if it's super complicated and you need a PhD to actually operate it or deploy it, then it kind of defeats the object. You have to spend extra money on training, and the deployment time is much longer. So that's the idea, isn't it? Making it as easy as possible for customers to manage those products.
That's so true. It really is. And Shure works with a really wide range of customers who are doing all sorts of interesting things with our products. And we want to make it easy for the majority of customers who are using them in their spaces to deploy and to use. And we think about that a lot, and we're very intentional in the design process, working with those customers to get their feedback so that it is easy. But at the same time, we also want to give the flexibility for that device to perform at the highest level in the most challenging spaces when it needs to. And so we think about both of those things in the design process, and we use the customer feedback to identify what those opportunities are for making those devices easier to use.
Good stuff.
So I haven't yet had the opportunity to stop by the Shure booth, but I'd love to just hear a little bit about what you have there and what can attendees expect to see. I hear that you have an innovation lab or so. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and what we would expect if we stop by the Shure booth?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So the Shure booth itself has our latest hardware and software launches. You can speak with many Shure associates who were involved in the design process for those products. It's really a neat way to connect with understanding how those were developed and what they're capable of. We're featuring products like our new MXA 901 ceiling array, which is built off of the flagship 920 that maybe many of our customers are familiar with, but in a smaller, compact form factor. And again, that also has DSP built in, so it's really easy to deploy in a standard 20 by 20 space. Or you can add multiple ones for larger spaces and standardize on a microphone array like that. We're also featuring our latest MXW system, which is called Next 2. It's a 2-channel wireless system. Comes in multiple configurations in terms of handheld microphones or body packs or boundary microphones. But it's so easy to use because the base station is also the charging station for the battery that's inside. It's also the receiver for the wireless system, and it's got so many connections that we've really found customers have enjoyed being able to use that both for sound reinforcement in a presentation setting, but also for hybrid settings where they also need to stream to an audience. And then actually unveiled here at the show as well, and connected to that MXW system is our latest lavalier, which is the WL 183, 184, 185 lavalier system. We've made some nice improvements on that standard lav system that's been around for a while, but we've upgraded the audio quality for that, lower self-noise, higher dynamic range, in a smaller form factor. And so pleased to announce that at the show as well.
Excellent,
Exciting.
good stuff. Yeah, and I've noticed your pin there as well with the classic sort of Elvis mic. 'Cause I could have used that yesterday. I was dressed as Elvis. Yeah.
Don't get him started. We'll catch you up.
Absolutely.
I know that we touched on this briefly, but it was the customer-led design approach, and we spoke about it a bit at ISE as well. Can you give us a bit of an update on that? Are there any developments, and what kind of customer-led design is to Shure?
That's right, yeah. Customer feedback is so important to us, and it's one of the reasons why we enjoy coming to InfoComm so much, is because we get to meet with our customers and understand their workflows and hear about how they're deploying those products and working with our partners to develop those solutions. Particularly, we've made some advancements in the software space, and that's you mentioned the innovation lab. That's one of the places that we're actually demonstrating some of those latest features, which will be available to customers in a few months with the latest updates. But one example of that is a new AI feature called AI Deverb. And what we found is a lot of conferencing customers are sometimes conferencing from rooms which have many reflective surfaces, and they're not necessarily acoustically treated. And those echoes can be heard on the far end. But with AI Deverb in the latest Shure updates, we're actually, through AI, removing that echo, whether it's in a small room or a large room. We're able to identify those sound characteristics of both the voice of the intended speaker and the reflections from the space, and eliminate those. So ultimately delivering better sound quality for the customer on the far end, and doing that, as you mentioned, in a way that's very easy for the customer to deploy.
Yeah, sure. There you go. AI infiltrating every aspect of technology these days.
Well, wonderful. So I know we're getting low on time here, but what are the things that you want to take most from InfoComm when you leave InfoComm 2024?
That's a good question. For me, InfoComm is all about the relationships. We work in an industry with great people, and we use a show and an opportunity like this to build relationships with our customers, our end users, to build relationships with our channel partners, our integrators, and also with our technology partners. This is something that we can't deliver the great solutions on our own. We work together as an industry to deliver that for customers. And so building those relationships, seeing old friends and meeting new ones here at the show is one of the things I appreciate the most.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing your step count data as well at the end of the week. I'm sure it's going to be up there. But yeah, Sean, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and have a great rest of your show.
Very good. Thanks again.
You.
Yeah, pleasure.